All right. Week one is in the books, and we haven't made fun of anyone yet, unless you account for the chat, because we doing that. All right. So week one, we're all very happy with how our weeks went, right, guys?
Yay,
No one.
Bren. How's it feel to be a winner?
Feels great. I didn't expect it to be honest. Joel, how you
Joel,
feeling?
you okay?
Shut up. I'm happy with how real football went.
I don't know.
That's
I
true.
don't know what that is. This is real football. All right.
Joel
We're
took
gonna.
it.
Oh,
I
I was
wish
gonna
I
say
had
Joel
played
took it
Jason this
easy
week.
on us in the chat in the pick'em. You could have been a lot more ruthless with us Cincinnati pickers.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't argue with your pick on that. Like, who would have thought, you know?
Unreal. Two
So,
years in a row, week one.
well, we're coming from all different parts of the world at this point. I am in Florida. Joel, I'm guessing you're home. Goat's still off in no internet zone of the world.
Yeah,
Must be
the bush
nice.
of Quebec.
We're
some
gonna
Indian
start.
reserve.
Yeah.
We're gonna start
Drinking
off
moonshine.
with some power rank. So rest of season power rankings. I sent them out, but I'll read them off quick for people listening. We got not reigning champ. My QB is a bust. Miss Robinson, Lamb Chops, Super Lamario, The Goffus, Hingle, McCrinkleberry. Thanks for whoever made that name. Darshawn Johnson, Sherlock Mahomes, Crazy One, Allen, key to winning, and Hertz Donut. All right. That's quite not a huge amount of changes. Anyone just a quick reaction to that power ranking? No quick
Hertz Donut,
reaction.
I absolutely agree
Uh,
with. Brian's team is absolute crap. Um,
Love
I'm
it.
sorry, I don't agree with Sam's at all. Being three is I like I don't get it. Like I know she's got two good running backs. Um, the rest look pretty good to me. I'm not really I think Jordan should be higher, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Goat, any thoughts?
Not really. Yeah, Jordan at six. Jordan's got a good team. Absolutely demolished Ethan. Ethan was mad because a lot of his players didn't show up, but I told him it wouldn't have mattered anyway because Jordan put up almost 130 points. So if you're gonna lose big, that's a good week to have none of your guys show up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I kind of agree that Sam might be a little too high. Um, but for the most part, it's accurate enough. Like if you swapped Sam and Jordan, six and three, I'd think that's pretty accurate.
As long as I'm in the top five, I'm happy. All right. Let's go to a review of last week's matchups and mock the people who lost and make excuses for the teams that won. Uh, as usual, we're going to start off with me first because it always is the top of my page, conveniently. So, me versus Jordy, 95 to 81. We're not going to dive too deep into these. I think my opinion of this one was half his team didn't show up and McCaffrey didn't start. Love it. I will take the win. You guys,
Default.
hey, win is a win.
Yeah, and you had Jordan Reed on the bench as well, so which is sad because that's probably going to be the only good game of the year now that Jordan Love's gone.
You mean the wide receiver one for Green Bay? I don't know what you're talking. All right. I think we can move on because I think we're all pretty confident Jordy's going to rebound from that one. I've got Miss Robinson and Go to Miss next. Not a little tighter than I thought it would be, 81 to 71. Joel, you want to start us off for that matchup?
Yeah, so Burrow's a bust, I think. So it's a good thing Jason has Prescott, but he pulled off the win anyway. I mean, this is the lowest scoring matchup of the week, so it's not overly eventful. No one really showed up in a big way except for Tyreek and Evans. Um, yeah, it was a pretty close matchup, but Jason came out on top despite Burrow's crappy performance.
All right. Yeah, I got the same opinion, but I find it hilarious that both defenses were supposed to have a lot of points, got absolutely destroyed with Cincy and Cleveland. But I think Sam had nobody show up all week, so I kind of cemented Goat's kind of low week, easy win, not easy win, but low week win. Goat, how you feeling after
Yeah,
week
I'll take
one?
I'll take that. I'm not gloating at all. 80-point win. That's a fluke. I probably should have lost. Yeah, Burrow killed me. He sewered me. The only thing that makes me feel a little better is Prescott didn't need to do anything. So um, I don't feel bad about that start. But yeah, never starting a Cincinnati Bengal ever again in any league ever.
Pure quitting on Cincinnati. I like
Yeah, that's it. Tilting.
tilting. Okay. All right. I got Jordan and Ethan next. Goat, I'm gonna let you take this one. Don't hold back on your own child, please.
No, no, yeah. I mean, he started his best lineup. He was really upset about not starting Likely, but nobody would have started Likely over Kincaid or McBride. And as it turned out, even if he had started Likely, Jordan's team was so dominant, it wouldn't have made a difference. Mostert didn't get any carries. I think he got, yeah, there it is, 6 carries. And Harrison, London, nothing, nothing. And now Puka Nacua is hurt, so he's going to have to, you know, make plans for that. As for Jordan, his team showed up. Very good team. Everybody on his team did what was supposed to be done, and yeah, he's going to be a problem moving forward. Jordan's got a solid team. A problem, as Joel calls him. It's going to be a problem this year.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Even St. Brown didn't even show up for Jordan, and he still had 131 points. So that's gonna be that's gonna
Yeah,
be it.
exactly.
That's gonna be an interesting battle. Joel, did he cover everything, or do you got
Yeah.
it?
Covered everything. Jordan's worrisome.
Jordan scary. Um, I got Brian and Trav. It's the one that I said was going to be a pretty quiet, boring matchup, and Trav exploded and completely trashed Brian. I'm going to go first on this one because, as a Philly fan and Hurts being terrible, that was quite the matchup of quarterbacks that did nothing for either of them. Literally a .02 difference of 1642 and 1640. That makes life easier. Jordan Brian love of Corum starting and having no nothing. Zero goose egg just makes me smile inside.
Me too, since I know he purposely took my handcuff just to be a jerk. It's great to see him lay a goose egg there.
That it is. Yeah, no one on Brian's team showed up besides Cooper Cup. I don't really know how Brian goes forward with this team right now, but I don't know what else to say about this matchup. This was a big complete trashing by Trav. Anyone got any comments besides piling on Bry?
All I have is insults for Bry, so
Not
yeah.
Perfect. Well, we'll let him off the hook a little bit for week one. If he gets trashed again week two, we'll have to spend a little more time mocking him. And I got coming next the family battle of Joel and his dad. Joel, I'm going to let you start on your own matchup.
Well, yeah, my dad reminded me where I came from in this matchup. Um, just absolutely annihilated me. Um, yeah, I would have been able to beat a few teams this week. My performance wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. Shakir was surprisingly good. My defense got a lot of points, but yeah, it just wasn't enough. Josh Allen basically killed me. I mean, that's basically what it came down to.
Yeah, I had a few surprises in this matchup, like Gus Edwards not doing much on Steve's team. I thought he'd do a little better, and yeah, Kincaid having like absolute like where the heck was Kincaid there when Allen couldn't throw to anyone for half the game?
Uh,
Uh, I don't know. That was a weird matchup. Goat, anything on that one?
Um, well, Joel called it at the beginning of the year that he wasn't going to win the receiver game, and that's kind of played itself out this week. Obviously Shakir had a good day, but unless his running backs show up in a huge way each week, which they did good this week, they kind of hit their projections, but you're going to need Gibbs or Taylor to put up 20 points a week, um, to beat good teams. And yeah, Allen trashed. He showed up, so yeah, that hurt you. But I think Joel still has a good team, but so does Steve. We kind of mocked Steve last week. We said that Joel was going to take him to the cleaners, and Steve's team came out angry and shut our mouths.
I feel like that's gonna happen once in a while for us.
Yeah.
All right. Last matchup of the week was Nick getting a beatdown from Crazy One. I think we all kind of considered this to be a pretty close matchup last week. And it did not. It was not close. The QB battle, especially, really turned on Nick at 28-8, and then just yeah, Nick's Crazy One, Jordan's stars kind of showed up. Kelsey, although Kelsey didn't. Worthy, not Worthy didn't end up with a lot of touches, but man, did he do good on those touches. Um, and then nobody on Nick's team showed. So that was quite the matchup. Anyone got any mocking of Nick in their arsenal?
yeah, for Nick to get
I
24
don't
points
know.
on. Oh, sorry, Jason.
It's okay. I'm on delay. Cottage internet. Yeah, Lamb. Dallas didn't need to do anything, so Lamb didn't get a lot, and then Chase, limited snap count, and Wilson, tough matchup against San Francisco. So his three stud wide receivers kind of let him down, like Bren said. But I'm sure he'll rebound. That's still a solid team.
Joel? Anything?
Yeah, for your defense to get 24 points and your whole team to only get 74, like that's wild. Um, the real life players scared me, like Jamar Chase, basically no effort. Garrett Wilson, same thing. That catch where he had plenty of room to get both feet in and didn't do it, lazy play. Um, I worry about his receivers, and they are the strongest part of his team. And then on crazy one side, looking at Hubbard and Chase Brown, that's the danger of relying on volume when your teams aren't very good, is you got to start throwing pretty early in the game, and your backs aren't going to get a lot of carries. So, um, yeah, I don't know about these two teams. Be interesting to see what they do going forward.
Sure. All right, let's get into this week. We'll leave last week in the dust as just stats to learn from, I guess. And we'll move into this week. So I'll start at the bottom of my list, so that it's not just me immediately every time. I got Jordy and Crazy One Jordan, a projected very close matchup, with Jordy pulling it off 51%, 49. This could be a high scoring matchup. Joel, do you want to go first? I'll throw that one to you. Looking at
This
this.
is Jordy and Crazy One.
Jordy and Jordan, Crazy One,
Yeah, so again, I worry about Carolina now with Hubbard, and I worry about Chase Brown. Casey's got a good defense, so his backs worry me a little bit. Um, but his wide receivers are playing very well. I don't know if McCaffrey's going to be back, but Jordan Mason played so well last night that you got to wonder if Shanahan's going to go with more of a committee approach. Obviously, it won't be 50-50, but even a 70-30 would really cap McCaffrey's playing time. So I think Jordy wins comfortably, but I also think Crazy One has an opportunity to put up a lot of points. So yeah, it should be close.
Go. Any comments?
I actually was going to say what Joel just said about McCaffrey. Not so much about the split, which I do agree with, but I think if there's any lingering doubt that he's still kind of hobbling, the way Mason performed against a pretty solid Jets defense, like they didn't look great, but they can let McCaffrey sit for 2 or 3 weeks if they want to, because their goal is to make it to the Super Bowl, not win regular season games. So, yeah, Jordy might be in trouble there if they keep him out longer. But yeah, it's a pretty close matchup. Um, I like both QB starts this week for both teams. Daniel should run right all over the Giants, and Stroud has been awesome. So, yeah, I think it'll be close, but I think I'll give the edge to Jordy.
I'm calling the upset a bit on this one. I think Jordan's going to take this one. Jefferson playing San Fran scares me. Everything, like you guys say, I think I'm less on the side of the snap count going down, more of the fact that, like Jason said, I think they're going to sit until McCaffrey is 100%. If they've got Mason, they don't care who's back there as long as waiting for McCaffrey to be 100%. Devontae Adams versus Baltimore, that scares me a little. Uh, and the Philly wide receivers, while I don't like starting two wide receivers from the same team playing against Atlanta, I'd take that matchup. uh, so he's even got Philly's defense against Atlanta. So Kirk Cousins looked pretty rough. So I'm gonna take an upset, but I think it's pretty close as well. And then I got Joel and Nick on my list for next. Goat, I'm gonna let you go first on that.
Well, Mahomes should destroy Cincinnati. So Mahomes should come out flying. Um, you know, Gibbs and Taylor, they should be fine. Like I know Tampa Bay's got a good defense. On the other side, Dobbins, if he plays like he did this past week, same thing with Walker. I know their projections aren't super high, but they looked both very good. So I realize that Joel's favored pretty good at this point. Obviously, there'll be pickups and the defenses might change and all that, but uh, I'll give the edge to Joel. I'm going to stick with Joel. Stuck with him last week. I think Joel will win, but it'll be close. If Nick goes 0-2 with those receivers, Nick, you can trade me one of them.
Yeah, take one as well while you're at it. Joel, you want to go next on your own matchup?
I'm just very worried. I think I'm going to be worried every week. Like I got Bucky Irving in a flex for crying out loud. So, um,
I
yeah,
didn't even see that.
it's going to be the same thing every week. I need my backs and Mahomes to show up, and I need Kincaid to actually do something. I think he will eventually, but I'm also hoping, I think my best player this week, other than Mahomes, is my Jets defense against Tennessee. I think they're going to absolutely annihilate. So
Yeah.
I'm banking on that.
Yeah, I'm on Nick's side as well in this matchup, but I do think you do have a couple of players that could break out this week. With Kyrie Williams versus Arizona, and Cade versus Miami. That's obviously going to be a shootout. And Green Bay is starting Malik Willis then against Indy. Not that Indy's any good, but Taylor's going to just have time to run at that point because it's going to be a 5-5 game or something stupid like that. So. Um, I think you've got some potential to get some high points from your stars, but if one or two of them don't show up, then I think you're going to be in some trouble. All right, I lost my week matchups. Here we go. Jordan Hefferleg against Brian. I'm going to go first on this one because it's the easiest one to go with. Brian, I feel like you're going to stop listening to our podcast very quickly, or it's just going to make you angry. I think this is going to be a complete whooping. Barkley versus Atlanta, Mixon versus Chicago. Like this is matchup gold for a lot of Jordan's team. I know he's got Tampa for it against Detroit. I think Detroit's good enough to not care who they're playing half the time. Tagabu, I can't even say Tua's last name versus Buffalo. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. I could see Jordan getting another 130 points this week. So I don't know how Bry overcomes that. Anyone got any comments besides mocking Bry?
No.
No. Go.
No, I think that this will be an easy win.
All right. Sorry, Bry. You're gonna have to prove us wrong. And I got Goat versus Trav next. Joel, I don't think I've got you to start yet. Keep in mind, Trav doesn't currently have a quarterback starting.
I was wondering. I was like, why is like the teams look pretty decently matched? So where is this? Oh, he's got to pick one up because he's got Jordan. Okay. So I'm not sure who's on the waiver wire. Probably like Derek Carr or something he'll pick up. Um,
Herbert, Stafford, Mayfield, Smith.
okay, so he's got a lot of options there. Um, I mean this looked pretty close to me. I think I'd give the edge to Jason because I think Hill is going to shred that Buffalo defense. And I think Harris's projections are a little bit high. So yeah, I'd give this one to Jason.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Same thing. I think Hill's gonna run all over or flat, go crazy over Buffalo. So I think that's gonna put this in the edge, even though Henry's playing Las Vegas, and that's a get right game for him. So that could come back to hurt Goat. But I think, like you said, I think Goat's got the slight edge on this one. Goat, you feeling comfortable in this one?
Yeah, more or less. I'm not happy with Najigma in the flex. I played Watson last week and that was okay, but now with Willis starting at QB, I'm kind of might be scrounging the waiver wire for a flex start. And I'm certainly not happy with Taysom Hill as my tight end this week with Turd Ferguson going down to injury, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's a coin flip, kind of like Sam and I. And like you said, Bren, like he could pick up Stafford or like he's got to have some good quarterback options there, so he should be okay.
Yeah, Herbert versus Carolina, Stafford versus Arizona. There's some
Yeah,
Steven Smith versus New England. I realize that's not a New England's defense is pretty good, but even that can be like an easy, yeah, nice shirt.
burn it,
Um,
burn it.
2-0, boys. 2-0.
all right, I got Sam versus Ethan. I think I don't think I've started in a while. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to send this out eventually. All right. This is gonna be. I think this is gonna be the closest matchup of the week, in my personal opinion. There's a lot of. I don't think anyone has too hard of a matchup in their list, but so I think it's gonna be pretty even. It's gonna be Lamar versus Murray. Yeah, I think this is a pretty stinking even match. I think it's gonna be Cook versus Lamar. Harrison doesn't do anything. Anyone else got anything? Joel, you want to go next?
Yeah, I think it's hilarious that we got Likely going against Andrews in the tight end slot because like who knows what's gonna happen there. Just crazy. I don't have any faith in the Giants at all. So even against Washington, I don't trust Singletary. I don't trust Swift against Houston. I'm gonna give the slight edge to Ethan here, despite the fact that Sam beats him in the running back game.
Go.
As far as Ethan goes, you would hope that, I mean, Philly's got a good defense. The Rams are solid enough, but you would think that both those offenses would try to get London and Harrison involved. So that might bode better for Ethan this week. And yeah, Sam's got a solid team. Like she could have easily beat me this year. Evans is awesome. Picked up right where he left off last year. Yeah, that's true, eh? Andrews versus Likely. I don't know if he's going to stick with that or if he's going to put McBride back in, but I don't know how you don't play Likely. Depending on what happens with McCaffrey, he may end up putting Likely in the flex spot and McBride into the tight end spot. So, because with Nakua injury, he doesn't have a lot of options there. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, should be an interesting matchup. I like that matchup to watch this week. Finally, we got me versus Steve. I'm gonna go last in this one. Go. Can you start us off?
Sorry, who are we doing?
Me versus Steve.
Let me
Alan key
find
to
it.
winning.
There we are. Um, yeah, projections are pretty even. How you feeling about Richardson after that week one performance?
I can't watch the game. It's the most painful QB to watch ever because he runs 30 yards, then misses his guys by 20 yards, and then throws a 60-yard ball. And I don't understand what's going on.
A 60-yard bomb right on the money from standing still and basically like sidearmed it.
It was amazing.
It's impressive. He looks either like a Hall of Famer or like a high school quarterback. And it goes back and forth between any given series. But anyways, back to the matchup. Yeah, I think I like. I'm gonna go with Steve this week. I think Allen keeps doing what Allen does, and Elliott looks like the starter there, not Rico Dowdle. You have a really good team too, Bren, but I'm going to give the edge to Steve. I know that's not a lot of analysis, but just off the top of my head, I think the Ravens defense against Las Vegas could shred, and he's got a pretty solid team.
Joel, what are you thinking?
Yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts. I think the Ravens can put up like 20, 25 points against Vegas. And, he's got Allen and Waddle. And as we've talked about, I think that's going to be a shootout. Obviously the Patriots are relying a lot on Ramondre as well. He could be a 15 to 20 point a week kind of guy. So your flex, I think, is much better than my dad's. But I think with the defense and some of those matchups, he just slightly takes it.
I think you're all nuts. I am so happy with all of my matchups this week, besides Aaron Jones against San Fran, which I might slide out to someone else in. I think I could put up like 120 points, 130 points this week.
I don't know who's throwing to Amari, though. Like,
who cares? Amari somehow. I just need Amari to get 8-9 points. That's all I care. He's just there to get 8-9 points.
I don't know if he can. I mean, he got $160. I know it's Dallas, but jeepers.
Breece Hall playing Tennessee and Isaiah Pacheco playing freaking Cincinnati. I don't know. I
gave him a slight edge. A slight edge.
All right. We are running way out of time. Somebody give me a quick pickup for this week going into the waiver wire. And I mean quick. We've got like 2 minutes before our Zoom runs out. Joel, give me someone quick. All right, off the top of your head.
Lazard.
Love it. He's going to throw it to him. Jason, you got anything?
Just because in my matchup, whoever Trav picks up for QB, that's a big decision for him. If it was me having to pick up a QB, I would pick up Stafford and then he would do nothing. It would be Herbert. And if I picked up Herbert, then he would do nothing. So that's the big, that'll be something fun to watch, is who he picks up and how he performs.
Love it. And I'm going to go Jordan Hill. I think apparently they're not going to use Derrick Henry unless they really, really need to. They're just going to throw the ball to Jordan Hill.
You mean Justice Hill?
Justice Hill. Sorry. Justice Hill constantly. So I'm going to take that every day. All right, guys. We talked way too much. Our time is completely out. It's going to end in, I don't even know when, but
3:50.
Very quick. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll call that on week 1, moving into week 2. we'll hopefully see everyone next week with me 2-0 and Joel 1-1.